Hey, welcome to the party. You found the Mouse Castle Lounge, your home for cocktails and conversations from the worlds of Disney and beyond. Visit us at themousecastle.com. Follow us at Mouse Castle Show on Twitter and the Mouse Castle on Facebook and Instagram. Your table is waiting, and drinks are now being served. Don't be shy. Come on in. Let's get to it. Here are your hosts, the keepers of the Mouse Castle Lounge, Tim Calloway and Anthony Reynolds.
Welcome to the Mouse Castle Lounge. I'm Tim Calloway.
And I am Anthony Reynolds. It is April 28th, 2021.
We are your weekly dose of Disney news, information, and commentary. And what do we have coming up today, sir?
Well, is woke culture ruining Disney? We're going to talk about that a little bit. We'll also talk about the Oscars, and we might be getting a Jim Henson biopic. That's all coming up next inside the Mouse Castle Lounge.
So you might have heard I fixed the opening intro. We have a new voice of the Mouse Castle Lounge.
Yes, I love it. It reminds me a lot of the energy that you get from the those old Travel Channel Disney shows when they would show how the parks were built. And so that was a big wave of nostalgia to me. She sounds just like that to me.
Yeah, her name is Samantha Moore, and she's a friend and a colleague, and she's a voice actor in Los Angeles. Yay, Sammy. Welcome to the Mouse Castle Lounge. She is now the official voice. And when I let her know, she was just so excited. I mean,
I'm glad.
The excitement level, I've never heard her so happy in my life.
I don't like doing, because we listened to a few of them, and I didn't like it because I had to choose, and I felt a personal connection to every single person who sent in a recording because they said my name each time they introduced. And I was like, oh, they know my name. I can't choose. So I don't want to go through that again. Samantha's going to be with us for a long, long time.
Yes, she is. Yes. Or until we get tired of this and stop.
Yes, maybe. That could happen anytime. We never know.
I know. Well, Sammy, we 2 weeks was a good run. Thank you. So that kind of cacophony that I was doing before, where I mashed together the inside the Mouse Castle and the Mouse Castle Lounge, that has been retired, and there we go. We have a new intro, and yeah, there you have it.
It's our third relaunch.
Third relaunch. I know. We're just going to keep doing it till we get this right. So anyway, interesting week for Disney. So this is kind of embarrassing. There was a gentleman from my hometown. I believe he is actually our assistant district attorney or something of that.
But no, people in government need to be respectable and.
Yeah, well, his name is Jonathan Van Buskirk, and he wrote this commentary piece in the Orlando Sentinel, decrying Disney's woke culture.
And this is all, I think, because I don't know if we talked about it, but like they basically are allowing, cast members to show visible tattoos, have more inclusive clothing, hair. And then he's also talking about all the updates they're doing to like the Jungle Cruise and Splash Mountain, obviously.
And somehow that's ruining his experience. And it's not what Walt would have wanted.
I mean, oh God. It's just, the whole thing is an embarrassment. Just reading it, it's so cringy. And it's like, these people say, I don't know that I'm going to re-up my annual pass. And I was on, there was some message boards that I kind of go on once in a while to look, not participate. But they're talking about how they're making it easy to quit Disney now because of all these changes. And I'm like, good. Please.
Yeah, more for us. Yeah. And less crowds. I've grown so tired of the mentality that's out there that Walt would not have done it this way. First of all, Walt was a savvy business person. He would have figured it out eventually. And also, we are well past the point now where the Walt Disney Company has been in operation longer without Walt Disney than with.
Yes.
Okay. Walt died in 1966. And yes, he was, a great showman, a great creative mind. Certainly he's the reason that you and I are doing this right now, but it's not his company anymore.
No, and
Okay.
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what he would want to do because he was a product of his time. Sure, he probably, on a
Exactly.
1966 mindset, would probably do a lot of stuff that would be questionable nowadays.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Well, and I mean, yeah, I mean, let's be honest, the changes that have been made to Pirates of the Caribbean, getting rid of the bride auction, and the Splash Mountain, which makes total sense. And yes, it was a wonderful attraction, but it makes too many people uncomfortable, and I understand why. And actually, I'm totally on board for a Princess and the Frog overlay. I mean, that's just brilliant.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it, especially because there's no other choice than to basically make more New Orleans Square, and that is my favorite area of Disneyland, so I'm 100% for it, especially if we get like a new restaurant or something with Cajun food. Please give that to me. The other changes that coming out, like with the Jungle Cruise, I like the Jungle Cruise. I like it fine. But it got to the point where it wasn't a must ride for me anymore. It was one of the ones I would skip all the time. But so I'm welcoming these changes because I got to spice it up a little bit. And if you look at it more of they're updating something instead of they're replacing this, it's a better thing.
I mean, they are making it more inclusive. And yes, if that means that, cast members can wear their hair in a certain way and that, tattoos suddenly aren't, a deal breaker, and that facial hair is okay. I mean, it's not like Disney is totally tossing all their standards. I mean, there still will be a dress code. There still will be things that cast members are expected to do. They're just making it more in tune with how we live today. That's all.
And my only thing that my concern is, if they're going to do changes like Pirates of the Caribbean or anything like that, Disney, if you are combining new things with an old attraction, and if those things that you're changing have speaking parts, use worse audio equipment. Because the audio on Pirates of the Caribbean with the new scene, my biggest complaint is it sounds too clean.
I get it. No, you're absolutely right.
It's not like sorry, I can't, talk bad about voice actors to you, but I don't think it's their fault. It sounds so out of place.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's, you have all these old analog recordings that have been remastered and digitized and all of that. But the new recordings are all digital. And yeah, it takes a bit of magic, to use a Disney term, to make that sound fluid, to make that all sound like it's coming from the same source. So I totally understand what you're saying.
Yes, but I do think, like, with Pirates, the other changes they made, like that whole octopus in the beginning where the guy turns into a skeleton, that is with the spirit of that ride. So
yes,
I'm saying bring on the changes. I'm 100% here for them. Just, no screens. We don't need screens.
Oh yeah, no. Oh God, no more projection screens. See, now that one. Now I would write a scathing commentary in Orlando Sentinel about too many projection screens.
I don't think you'd be alone.
But people who think that it's Disney being too woke and it's all part of corporate America becoming too political, you need to get over yourselves.
There's a theme park for those people. It's called the Holy Bible Experience in Orlando, and they can also visit Noah's Ark in Kentucky.
Is all of that still in business?
I thought I saw something. I don't know. They go back and forth. They're like Schrodinger's religious theme park.
Oh dear.
You don't know if they're open or closed till you show up.
Yes. So the Oscars were this past Sunday. Did you watch them at all?
I'll tell you what I did yesterday is I Googled when are the Oscars, because I noticed that a lot of people were talking about them, and I thought I would have some sort of knowledge that they were coming up. But no, I did not watch them.
Okay. And how were you about even watching any of the Oscar nominated films this year? Were you, I mean, with all of them available on streaming services, were you able to keep up in any way?
If we're talking Best Picture nominees, I don't think I saw any of them. And I think I maybe had heard of two of them. Which,
well, so much for our Oscar discussion. Time to move on.
well, I know Soul won some stuff, but they
Soul
won the
won.
Annie Awards yet last week. We talked about that. So
Yeah, and I mean, no surprise there. I think like Disney has now won, like either Disney or Pixar has won the best animated feature for like 13 of the last 15 years or something like that.
yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I don't think they won it for Cars. I don't know. I'm not even going to speculate. I hope they did not win for The Good Dinosaur because that was a steaming pile of trash.
I am absolutely positive they did not.
Good.
that might have been one of the 2 years that they didn't win something. But then even on along that line, there's kind of some pushback. I read one of the websites that is all about animation and cartoons was really being critical of the Motion Picture Academy of continually rubber stamping Disney. And, there's more animation out there than just what Disney does. And because they're the 900-pound gorilla in the room, Academy members who maybe have not seen all of the nominated films just, oh, well, that's Disney's entry this year. I'm going to pick that. Although they did have the good taste to pick Soul over Onward, at least.
Oh God, yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, that was the winning movie. That had to be, because Onward was just, I don't know why, it rubbed me the wrong way. Maybe Chris Pratt, I don't know.
Onward wasn't bad. It was just okay. And I mean, I even had my issues with Soul because it was too much to me, like Inside Out.
I can see that.
And one thing that was nice, that it won for Best Musical Score.
Yes, that was well earned. Yeah, because that stood out in that movie, and the whole movie was about the music too. So that was
exactly.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I think like with going back to Onward, I think my problem with it is a lot of Pixar movies lately have become porn for people who like to cry. And
is that wrong that we, because of movies like Up and Inside Out and Toy Story, we have come to expect this emotional moment in especially Pixar movies, in every Pixar film, and if it doesn't quite deliver that, do we just dismiss the whole movie?
Well, because I can see, like, I think they started to become known for it, and then they realized that they were becoming known for it, so they really leaned into it. And you can tell when that they're written this way. Like Onward, I got to the point towards the end of the movie, and if you've seen it, you know the ending, and I'm like, oh, this is the part where I'm supposed to be crying. And I have no problem crying at movies. I couldn't make it happen. I was like, no, it's just not doing it for me.
You don't want it to feel forced. You don't want to feel like you were manipulated into it.
Yeah, but like for me, the penultimate crying movie that Pixar has made for me is Coco. I can get through that whole movie and I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'm good. I know what's coming. I'm gonna be good. 10 minutes later, I'm blubbering. Like straight up ugly crying. I cannot watch that movie with people because of how bad it gets me.
Oh, that's the first 10 minutes of Up for me.
No, I can't remember. I was listening to
and then after that, it's talking dogs and airplanes, and I'm happy with that. But getting through the beginning of Up it gets me every single time, and I know it's coming.
Yeah,
and it's like oh.
I was listening to another podcast that I think it was Freedom, and they were talking about Lauren Lapkus talked about how she thought the movie was trash after the first 10 minutes, and that's a very controversial take. But I gotta say, I kind of see where she's coming from. The first 10 minutes of Up, fantastic. And then it's just kind of okay, they're talking dogs and everything, it's fine. But it was nothing like the first 10 minutes. There's definitely a quality switch, in my opinion. It's still good, but it's not as good.
Okay, I'll go along with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. Soul did nab a couple of Oscars, and just to give the people who did the score a shout out, it was Trent Rezner. We were talking about him last week, and it's just such a a departure, such a change from his earlier work, to see him doing musical scores for Disney, and he and his writing partner Atticus Ross. They were also nominated for the score for Mank.
Oh, really? They were.
Oh, I think it was Mank.
Mank? Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. You know.
Yeah. I'm just I'm saying this right now, and I might totally be wrong with that. And then they also wrote also writing the soul score with them was John Batiste, who gave the acceptance speech. He gave a very, very impassioned, passionate acceptance speech at the Oscars, which was really nice. But the Oscars were just kind of weird this year, though.
How did they do them? Did they have them in person, or was it like screens?
Yeah, they did it. Yes and yes.
Okay.
They did it in person. They did it at Union Station in L.A. So they had a much big, wide open space.
Is that a
and
train station?
It had what?
Is that a train station?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Amazing. But it's this, there's this huge, arena type or just huge open space where they could space out tables and they could space out the nominees. There were very few guests. It was all either presenters or nominees that were there, and then they had other people that they were doing remote feeds with who couldn't be in LA for whatever reason. But the whole. It was so unlike any other Academy Awards ceremony in the past, mostly, of course, because of the pandemic. But it felt a little bit off, and it was going out of its way to be inclusive. And in a year where there were far more people of color being nominated in different categories, particularly acting categories, they were really leaning into that with the presenters that they had and the stories they were telling, but the whole thing still seemed to be a little bit off. And this was also the big one that they were heavily criticized for is normally Best Picture is the last award of the night. It wasn't.
What?
It wasn't. They gave the best picture to Nomadland. And it was before Best Actor and Best Actress. The feeling is that they were anticipating that Chadwick Boseman was going to win for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, Best Actor, so they saved Best Actor for last. Uh-huh. And you can't do that, especially when it turns out that Anthony Hopkins won for The Father, and oh, by the way, he wasn't there.
Oh, boy.
So the whole awards, and then there were plenty of emotional moments, but the whole ceremony just kind of ended with a thud. Nomadland got its Oscar. Frances McDormand got her Oscar for Best Actress, also for Nomadland. And then, upset win. Anthony Hopkins wins, not Chadwick Boseman. Oh, I guess the show's over now.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, it doesn't sound great. And I feel like the Oscars are really at a point where they need to prove their relevancy, because I feel like they're kind of like the royal family here, where the next generation's probably not going to care a whole lot.
Yeah, well, I think also, too, because of the pandemic and because award shows in general were just weird this year, that a lot of people just checked out. And weren't interested at all. The numbers I saw today, I was reading articles. I'm going to say it was in Variety. I'm not sure of the source, but viewership this year compared to last year was down 58%. That's massive.
Now was last year's Oscars normal?
Yes.
Because
it was, and of course, see, and also they did it at the normal time. It was late February.
Yeah, that was the other
Typically,
thing.
the Oscars are held at the end of February, and because of all the strangeness with the pandemic, that delayed release of a lot of major movies and all that, really all the award shows kind of pushed things back to allow the various studios to get their movies, into release. So the Oscars ends up being in April when we normally get it like the last week of February.
It must be run by the same people who run the IRS. They're just, pandemic, everybody gets an extension. So
yeah, something like movies.
That. Yeah.
So anyway, congratulations to Pete Docter and everybody involved with Soul and
the rest of the winners.
The rest of the winners.
Everybody else, I hope you had fun.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. I certainly do not. I will probably read about it and then forget about it.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be, yes, it's going to be kind of a forgettable year. I mean, and Anthony Hopkins is forever going to be an asterisk in this award season. It's like, I mean, and he on Monday morning he posted a video on Instagram thanking the Academy and paying tribute to Chadwick Boseman, which was really very very charming and very gracious. But yeah. It will be the Oscar that no one remembers him for because all they'll still think is, oh yeah, he got the Oscar for Hannibal Lecter.
Well, Frances McDormand, didn't she get it for Fargo? Right, that's what she was nominated for.
She got
year?
This was Frances McDormand's third Best Actress win because she also did it for 3 Billboards.
Oh yeah, and
outside
Montana or Missouri,
some obscure town
in
Michigan or Missouri or
Minnesota, Fargo.
God, we are so disrespectful
to all those M states out there.
Yes, you know who you are.
Well, coming up, this just came out, and maybe we'll see this one at the Oscars at some point. But apparently, a Jim Henson biopic is going to be in the works at Disney, which is, obviously the owner of Jim Henson Company, the Jim Henson
Disney
Company.
Owns everything.
I don't know. This biopics to me are I don't like them, especially when they're people who are very much loved, especially if it's owned by Disney, because we had what was it? Saving Mr. Banks came out, and that was the Disney company's portrayal of Walt Disney with Tom Hanks. And it's just...
Yes. And other than Walt Disney made a movie called Mary Poppins and P.L. Travers wrote a book named Mary Poppins, pretty much nothing else in that movie was even close to true.
No,
the Sherman Brothers wrote some songs. That was also accurate.
But I don't trust the Disney company to actually give us a look at the actual person. It's all going to be kind of, Disneyfied. But I guess I'll look forward to this. I'm looking forward to the casting announcement that Tom Hanks will be playing Jim Henson. They'll de-age him.
He's going to grow a beard. And I guess the Jim Henson Company is involved in this. And
his daughter, Lisa Henson,
his daughter is going to be one of the producers. Yeah.
So I mean, if it's kind of a raw look at a real person, I'm going to be there for it. If it's just kind of a feel good fluff piece, I don't know that I'll be 100% excited for it.
Yeah. We'll see, and we will see it because we were totally curious about it. And I think what's going to be the focus on is his early career, where he's trying to create these characters and looking for success in TV. Have you ever gone on YouTube and watched some of the really early commercials that he did?
A long time ago, not enough to speak on it, but
they are so wonderfully odd.
I need to go look at that. Yeah, because he was. I think even like the Muppets were made for like an adult mentality. That was the whole thing with them.
Yeah.
So he always kind of was speaking to adults with it, and I like that. Once it starts kind of getting too kiddie, then it's, I don't know. I'm an adult. I like adult things.
Well, that was always. But see, that was always the great thing about the Muppets. That's why the Muppet Show was so good and so popular. It's like the show was made for everybody, and kids could get it on a certain level, but adults got it on an entirely different level.
I like how because the Muppet Show now is on Disney Plus for the most part. I think it's like 3 or 4 episodes that didn't make it over. And every once in a while, not every episode, but every once in a while, there's an episode that has that warning, this is a product of its time. And instead of erasing it, we've decided to present it as whatever. And it's so fun to go through the episode and try to spot the line that was the cause of that warning. Sometimes it's very subtle, but sometimes you're like, oh, there it is. Yes. That was not respectful towards Asian people.
Yeah, and or you're not a Muppet episode, but you're watching Dumbo. It's like, oh yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that was woo boy.
Yeah.
I wonder how long some scenes in Peter Pan's flight are going to last.
You got to wonder about that. Well, that will involve another commentary in the Orlando Sentinel.
Oh, he's gonna get so mad. I hope they do it.
I know, I can hardly wait. He's from Vegas. Got to root for the Vegas guy.
I want him to get so mad.
More casting notes here. Russell Crowe apparently is going to be in the next Thor movie.
Yeah,
and he's going to play Zeus, which, to my knowledge, has nothing to do with Nordic mythology.
Nope, that's my people, the Greeks.
There you go. Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder. He's going to play Zeus.
It's unfortunate that Rip Torn isn't around to replay that role.
Oh, there you go. Ah, I love Hercules. God, I love that movie.
I like Rip Torn. I miss that guy.
Yes. Oh, yeah. He was terrific in Men in Black.
Yes. Fun fact: I used to run a fake Rip Torn account. It's probably still out there somewhere. Where it was like Crazy Rip Torn, and I would just post random things that weren't, something that I would think Rip Torn would say, like he glued his hand to his forehead or something, and people. Every once in a while. I mean, it was clearly, I said, this is not Rip Torn. And it clearly was not Rip Torn. But I got a handful of messages from people thinking I was Rip Torn and wanting an autograph or to reminisce about movies we worked on together.
Oh, that would have been nice. But he's not alive anymore. Yeah, that's not going to work anymore. Although I did, at one time I was being followed by on my personal Twitter account, I was being followed by a fake David Fincher account. For whatever for whatever that's worth. I have we can't get regular celebrities to follow us, so we're really happy that fake celebrities follow us.
Oh, I get fake celebrities emailing me all the time. They go right to my spam folder, and they're very concerned about my penis size.
And usually involves asking for money or, nudes, something like that. Anyway.
Credit card numbers, all that. I always oblige.
Yeah. So anyway, and it was so funny how it leaked out that Russell Crowe was going to play Zeus. He was doing an interview for an Australian radio station and just kind of casually mentioned that he was getting ready to go for a bike ride up to the Disney Fox studios and for like a morning call. And, he says he's playing Zeus. He says it's going to be for Thor. I mean, there was no like press release or anything. He's just casually mentioning this on an Australian radio station. It's like, oh, well, that's nice.
Well, you messaged me when you sent that article. I just hope he doesn't sing.
I agree with you on that.
Him and Les Mis. One day, Martha Revolution. He sounds like he has marshmallows in him.
Yeah. It wasn't bad, but it sounded really strained. It's like he was really forcing it.
Yes, it was not natural.
No, not at all. It was. I mean, he was just belting it out. And the one upside to Thor: Love and Thunder is that Taika Waititi is directing it again.
Ooh, yes. He has been the shot in the arm that the Thor franchise needed. It was Ragnarok. Definitely. Oh, I like him. And then he also did What We Do in the Shadows, which is another.
Yes.
Have you seen the show?
I have not. I have heard good things about it, and I need to.
You need to. It is so good. It's amazing. It's only like 10 episodes a season. They're all on Hulu right now. Our sponsor today, Hulu. No, I'm kidding.
I want my free subscription. Okay.
So yes, Russell Crowe's going to be in Thor and all that.
Chris Hemsworth, I assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of wooden performances, there's a new animatronic coming over to Disney.
Is it coming over to Disney yet?
I don't know.
It's still kind of in the test phase, isn't it?
Yes, it's a prototype. I only went to this article for the segue of wooden performances, but
I see what you did there. You're paying attention.
Yeah. So yeah, they have a new walk around. I wouldn't call it Baby Groot.
It's kind of Teen Groot.
Yeah, kind of.
It's kind of Groot at the end of the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yes. And so they built this walk around Groot character, and it looks really it looks kind of cool. You're like, okay, cool, he can walk. But then he starts doing like karate moves, and he like lifts his arms up and he dances. And like this is still a work in progress. So I think it has nowhere to go but up. It's perfect. It's great. It has a lot of places to go than up. It's still great. That wasn't I implied that it was bad. It is fantastic.
It is, and it's kind of teetering towards that uncanny valley where it looks just a little too real.
Yes, but I think with this it'll work. Like if they had a walk around like Johnny Depp animatronic, that would be a little problematic in a lot of ways. But
actually, the walking around animatronic Johnny Depp really is Johnny Depp.
He's just wandering around the park these days. But yeah, if it's like a fake character like Groot or something, it looks a lot better. And I'm excited to see this. I'm hoping we will get to see it in at least California Adventure at that tower, and then the roller coaster in Epcot. I can't remember, the Guardians of the Galaxy mission something.
Now the people or the lab that developed this for Disney is saying that Groot is just kind of just the version that they're playing around with that now. There's no guarantee that if and when this type of animatronic hits the parks, that it's going to be Groot.
Yeah, but even in Disney fashion, you might see it for like a couple weeks and then you'll never see it again. It'll just go in a box next to the Fantasyland dragon.
Yeah, well, they had a fun thing like that at California Adventure for a while too, where they had Beaker and Bunsen Honeydew.
Well, that was at California Adventure?
That was a California
I
Adventure.
think it was at Epcot as well. With the mobile Muppet Lab thing.
Yeah. And this is going back a few years, like the last time we did this show, I think is about the time that they were doing it.
Yeah, that looks cool. They also had the Lucky walk around dinosaur, and then they had
that's right.
And then even more basic, they had Push the trash can going around. So
God, I remember. Yeah, I remember people used to go totally nuts for Push. I don't think I ever saw it actually in the park. I just saw video of it. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cute, but people would just go totally bonkers over this, and I didn't quite understand why.
There's a guy who does a lot of podcasts. Matt Gorley is his name. He does a lot of stuff. If you're into comedy podcasts at all, you know who he is. And I found out recently that he actually, one of his earlier jobs was he was Push the trash can. And there's there's some like Disneyland video, like home videos, where if you look, you can see him in the background controlling it. But if he
and he's kind of standing there with like his back to the crowd, and he's got the little device like held up to his face or something.
So he is one of the quickest improvisers I've heard. So if he was the one doing Push, I can see why people were obsessed with him, because it'd be hilarious.
Nice. Now, this I thought was kind of funny. This kind of getting back to Marvel. Now, maybe as a side note, have you been watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney
Yes,
Plus?
I have finished it.
And there are different things happening with characters, and we won't give away any spoilers on who may or may not be coming back, or who is rumored to be what. But I thought this is kind of interesting. There was a group of fans got together and decided to pay for a billboard in LA begging Marvel to bring back Tony Stark.
Are they district attorneys in Las Vegas?
Not that I'm aware of.
Like, is that a serious thing? Like, they actually want that, or is this like a?
They actually want that, and I guess pretty much if you have the money and the wherewithal, you can get a billboard that'll say just about anything. But this group paid for fans in LA. They're asking Marvel to bring back. Now,
are they wanting the character, or are they wanting Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man?
They want Robert Downey Jr.
So I don't know that they're appealing to the right people. I don't think it's up to Disney at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, and he's his contract is over. He did not survive Avengers Endgame, so I'm sorry, spoiler alert. And, and he's said in the past that he had a great 10-year run and that he's done with it. But, to me, buying this billboard is a lot like those surveys or petitions that people do with like change.org or whatever. Do those things really change anybody's mind?
No, the only thing that changes people's minds is if you get Twitter outrage.
That's
or get
true.
Reddit mad.
That's true because someone's opinion on Twitter, particularly someone I disagree with heavily. Yeah, I've lost track of how many times that person like that has changed my mind.
Yes. I'm very right-leaning now because of the things people have said to me. No, I'm kidding. Oh my God, no. I just think Tucker Carlson has some good points.
Yeah, they're at the top of his head.
And that will do it for this episode of the Mouse Castle Lounge. Don't forget to visit us at themousecastle.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Mouse Castle.
And you can also follow us at Mouse Castle Show on Twitter. And please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever fine podcasts are found.
And make sure you rate us on iTunes. 5 stars.
Somebody rated us either right before or right after we quit last time.
Really?
And they were our one review on iTunes.
Was it a 5-star? I haven't read it. I'm too fragile.
It was a 5-star review, and they left a comment. They loved us.
Hey, we're back, guys. 5 stars.
I know. Dang it.
5-star podcast.
And, I have to give a shout out to one of our fans who just went and liked everything on our Instagram page. Well, not everything, but I've got like, I don't know, 8 or 9 likes. Her name is Shauna. And so Shauna, if you're listening, thank you. We're back. We're glad that you're glad that we're back. And there you go.
Thank you for believing in us when we couldn't even believe in ourselves.
I know. It's like, thank you for clapping to keep Tinkerbell alive. That was, yeah.
And then she slammed into a mattress coming down from the castle and she died. Poor Tinkerbell.
Those were the good old days. God, those videos still are floating around there. If you've ever seen the old school Tinkerbell on the wire at Disneyland.
Oh, there was on Twitter, there was a video going around of, they did like a sandbag test and they had a camera attached to it. So you got the bird's eye, you got the Tinkerbell view as she would see it coming down.
Nice.
That was really cool.
Yes. Don't try this at home, kids. And with that, we will catch you next time in the Mouse Castle Lounge.
See ya.